Awakening Hearts. In the vibrant city of San Francisco, Dr. Eliana Chan was consumed by her work in the biotechnology sector. A brilliant scientist with a focus on neurobiology, she dedicated long hours in the lab working on groundbreaking research aimed at alleviating neurological disorders. But for Eliana, sleep was a distant memory rather than a remedy, and the pressures of her career were beginning to take a toll on her health. When her precocious niece, May, asked her to be a part of a school science project about the effects of sleep deprivation, Eliana agreed, hoping it might provide some reprieve from her relentless schedule. Little did she know that embarking on this journey would lead her not just to insights about insomnia, but also to an unexpected romance. During their research, May suggested they look into Cuddle Therapy as a potential solution for insomnia. Initially skeptical, Eliana agreed to the unorthodox method, but she did not anticipate what it would bring into her life, or how intertwined her personal and professional paths would become. As the science fair approached, Eliana had no idea that her life was about to change in ways she never imagined. After helping May finalize her presentation, Eliana found herself nervously fidgeting the day of the fair as she entered the bustling room filled with eager young scientists. "Eliana. Over here." May waved, excitement radiating from her. But as Eliana approached, she spotted a figure nearby who caught her breath. The woman standing near May's project was striking, a tall, serene presence that contrasted the lively chaos of the fair. Dr. Iris Bennett, a renowned sleep researcher, was known for her trailblazing work in sleep studies. With her short, tousled ash-blonde hair and piercing blue eyes, she was an embodiment of confidence mixed with approachability. "Your project sounds fascinating," Iris exclaimed, leaning slightly toward May and Eliana, her attention fully engaged. "Thank you," May said, bubbling with enthusiasm. "My aunt can't sleep, and we thought maybe cuddle therapy would help." Eliana felt her cheeks flush, a mix of embarrassment and intrigue as Iris's gaze shifted to her. "Cuddle therapy? That's a creative approach," Iris replied, a playful smile emerging. "Yes, well," Eliana started, feeling the heat of those blue eyes upon her. "You know, science sometimes requires a leap, right?" "Exactly. You have to experiment with unconventional methods," Iris winked, her voice smooth. "Have you thought about conducting any trials yourself?" Eliana chuckled nervously, feeling the chemistry between them spark. "Well, I might need a partner for the, data collection." The two women shared a laugh, and even May noticed the dynamic, her eyes gleaming with mischief. "Aunt Eliana, maybe you should ask Dr. Bennett to help you out." "Me? Help? With cuddling?" Iris raised an eyebrow playfully, her expression flirtatious. As time passed, all their conversations became a dance of flirtation laced with scientific discourse. Each visit to the science fair became an exploration of their feelings and growing attraction. Eliana found herself drawn not only to Iris's intellect but her warmth and spirit. After the fair concluded, Iris approached Eliana with a proposition, her expression earnest. "How about we collaborate? We both know the value of restful sleep. It could be a chance to explore both your research and our potential." Eliana's heart raced. "Are you suggesting I actually cuddle with my research partner?" "Well, it's all in the name of science," Iris quipped, her playful tone underscoring the seriousness of their connection. As their professional relationship blossomed into something more intimate, Eliana found herself learning that sometimes the best solutions arise when you least expect them. With Iris by her side, she discovered not only an innovative cure for her insomnia, but also an awakening of her heart that made life a beautiful experiment full of undiscovered possibilities. In the end, perhaps it wasn't just techniques or data that would allow her to sleep soundly. It was Iris, a tangible connection that promised peace and warmth through each sleepless night ahead. Eliana awoke gently the next morning, sunlight filtering through her curtains, bathing her room in a golden hue. It was a Saturday, a day she would usually reserve for catching up on work. But today felt different. When she glanced at her phone, she found a message that made her heart skip. "Iris, good morning, scientist. Ready for phase 2 of our project? Let's meet at the cafe around 11. Smiling at the playful enthusiasm in Iris's text, Eliana quickly got ready. She dressed casually but chose a soft, fitted sweater that accentuated her figure. As she glanced in the mirror, she felt a rush of excitement, tempered with an undercurrent of nerves. Today wouldn't be just about cuddles, but about exploring a potential new chapter in her life. At the cozy cafe, Iris was already seated at a small table, an open laptop in front of her, a cup of steaming coffee held delicately in her hands. Eliana's heart raced at the sight. The way Iris effortlessly embodied style and intellect made her increasingly magnetic. "Hey there, sleep scientist," Iris teased as Eliana approached, the corner of her mouth curling into a smile. "Morning. I'm almost ready to run our experiment," Eliana replied, leaning in for a quick hug. The warmth of their bodies together sent butterflies fluttering in Eliana's stomach, a thrilling sensation. "Today's goal," Iris said, tapping a pen against her notebook as they settled in, "is to outline your findings from sleeping with someone and evaluate the effects on insomnia. And we need to discuss cuddle mechanics." "Cuddle mechanics?" Eliana asked, stifling a laugh. "You mean like the science behind how to cuddle?" "Essentially. There's actual research on the benefits of skin-to-skin contact," Iris explained, her professional demeanor mixing playfully with her fascination. "It releases oxytocin, which helps reduce stress. Less stress often leads to better sleep." Eliana loved this blend of playfulness and intellectual engagement. They spent a couple of hours tossing ideas back and forth, sharing laughter, scientific insights, and a few tender glances. Eliana's nervousness began to dissipate as they delved into discussions about their backgrounds, aspirations, and, inevitably, about their working relationship that now felt charged with possibility. "It's funny how we started this project with science in mind but ended up discovering so much more," Eliana said softly, her heart pounding as she gazed into Iris's sparkling blue eyes. "I know what you mean," Iris replied, her voice dropping to a softer tone as she leaned closer. "Sometimes the most significant breakthroughs happen outside the lab." Just then, they were interrupted by a waiter bringing 2 fresh lattes, which provided a welcome distraction. After thanking him, Iris looked back at Eliana, her expression shifting to one that conveyed something more serious. "Eliana, I want to be honest," Iris said, taking a deep breath, her fingers nervously tapping the rim of her cup. "I really enjoy our time together, not just the project, but what we have between us. I hadn't expected to connect with someone in such a profound way." Eliana's heart raced. "I feel the same way. You've brought a lightness into my life that I didn't know I needed. It's terrifying and exhilarating all at once." "That's science for you." Controlled chaos, Iris grinned, but when Eliana met her gaze, she made the leap to sincerity again. "I'd like to explore whatever this is, beyond just cuddles and late-night chats." "Me too," Eliana replied earnestly, feeling warmth bubbling up inside her. "I want to dive into this, if you're willing." Iris smiled, beaming radiantly, and they spent the next hours sharing stories, a tapestry of their lives woven with dreams and aspirations, fears and hopes. The conversation flowed as easily as the rich coffee, each word a thread that brought them closer together. After finishing at the cafe, Iris suggested they take a walk in Golden Gate Park. As they strolled through the vibrant greenery, the sun peeking through the leaves, they continued their playful banter. "Okay, so here's the plan for tonight's experiment," Iris said, her expression animated. "We'll conduct a cuddle session while watching a movie, purely professional, of course. I'll make popcorn, and you can focus on taking detailed notes," Eliana replied, grinning. As they walked, Eliana noticed how Iris's hand brushed against hers as they avoided cyclists and rambunctious dogs. It felt intentional. There was an unspoken connection that begged to be acknowledged. After a few moments of tentative touches, Iris finally intertwined her fingers with Eliana's, sending a warm ripple down Eliana's spine. The moment felt electric yet tender, a leap of faith into unexplored territory. "Is this okay?" Iris asked, her eyes searching Eliana's for reassurance. "Yes," Eliana replied, her heart full. "It feels perfect." The rest of the afternoon flew by as they continued to explore the park, collecting dreams along the path. By the time they returned to Eliana's apartment for movie night, the atmosphere was charged with anticipation. They settled onto the couch with a soft blanket, the movie playing in the background as they cuddled up. Eliana felt the familiar weight of exhaustion tugging at her, but tonight felt different. She felt safe, comforted by the warmth of Iris beside her. As the movie played, Eliana found herself more focused on Iris than the plot unfolding on the screen. She stole glances at Iris, whose relaxed features exuded tranquility. There was a part of Eliana, her inner scientist, analyzing her newfound emotions. Still, the deeper part of her simply wanted to lean into the moment, to close her eyes and savor the bliss enveloping her. With popcorn still nestled between them, Eliana turned so she could see Iris fully. "You know, I still can't believe we're testing cuddle therapy together. Research is about exploration, after all," Iris replied, her voice low and soft. "Let's see where this takes us." As if sensing the moment was ripe, Eliana inched closer, her heart pounding in her ears. "And if it leads to feelings?" she asked, vulnerability lacing her words. "Then we embrace them," Iris replied, her voice steady. "Together." Taking a deep breath, Eliana leaned in and pressed her lips against Iris's, tentative at first, then deepening as Iris welcomed her with a sigh. Time stood still as they melted into one another, the world outside forgotten as they discovered the beauty of shared intimacy. When they finally broke apart, breathless and wide-eyed, Eliana whispered, "I think I've finally found a cure for my insomnia." Iris chuckled, her expression warm and inviting. "Perhaps we should run this experiment again very soon." With that, the night unfolded with laughter and soft touches, two women embracing both their personal discoveries and the thrilling possibilities that lay ahead. In each other's arms, they found not just a remedy for sleeplessness, but a bond that vibrated with newfound hope and untold adventures. As the night wore on, the movie faded into the background, a mere echo to the warmth blossoming between Eliana and Iris. Each passing moment felt like a step further into a new world, one filled with laughter, affection, and the kind of clarity Eliana hadn't anticipated. Eliana nestled closer to Iris, her head resting comfortably on Iris's shoulder. The sweet scent of Iris's shampoo filled Eliana's senses, calming and exhilarating all at once. As they exchanged soft kisses and gentle touches, Eliana felt herself melting into Iris, the stresses of her work and the weight of her insomnia dissolving into the background. "I can't believe you're a renowned sleep scientist and you let me pull you into this crazy cuddle therapy experiment," Eliana murmured, a playful smirk on her lips. Iris chuckled softly. "To be honest, I didn't expect to find the best researcher in sleep remedies right here," she said, her fingers dancing along Eliana's arm. "But it's the best decision I've made." Eliana's heart soared at those words. Just knowing that they were more than just collaborators, that they had crossed into something intimate and profound, filled her with hope. It occurred to her how refreshing it felt to share both her professional passion and her personal life with someone who truly understood. After a while, the movie ended, and the soft glow of the television was replaced by the ambient light of the room. Still cocooned in their blanket, Eliana leaned up to look into Iris's eyes. "What now?" she whispered, excitement dancing in her voice. "Now?" Iris echoed, a playful grin appearing. "Now we analyze the effects of our experiment. Phase 2 requires a lot of cuddling and some charming conversation." Eliana laughed, the sound bright in the stillness of the apartment. "I think I can manage that." As they settled back into the comfortable position, Eliana took a moment to reflect. It was hard to comprehend just how quickly everything had shifted. 1 minute, she was focused solely on her career, and the next, she was engaged in a budding romance that sparked joy and comfort in ways she hadn't known were possible. With Iris by her side, the thought of facing her work challenges became less daunting. After another hour of conversation punctuated by kisses and laughter, they decided to call it a night. Eliana glanced at the clock, surprised it had gotten so late. "I should probably get some sleep before I turn into a total zombie tomorrow," she said, trying to suppress a yawn. Iris nodded, a hint of mischief in her eyes. "I could stay a little longer, just to ensure you actually get some good rest." With a knowing smile, Eliana led Iris to her bedroom. As they entered, the sight of the unmade bed reminded Eliana of how chaotic her life had been. But now, with Iris's presence, it felt like a space ripe for comfort rather than stress. They settled onto the bed under the soft blankets, their bodies fitting together perfectly. Eliana nestled into Iris, feeling protected and cherished. Just a few breaths in, she felt the tension of the week finally slipping away. "Promise me something," Eliana murmured into Iris's arm. "Anything," Iris replied softly. "When I wake up in the morning, let's not lose this momentum. Let's continue exploring what this could be together." Iris turned to face Eliana, her blue eyes sparkling with sincerity. "I promise. This feels too good to let go of. We'll navigate whatever comes next side by side." With those reassuring words floating between them, Eliana's body began to relax in a way it hadn't in years. She could almost feel the presence of sleep drawing near, lulling her into its gentle embrace. As they drifted off, wrapped up in each other's warmth, Eliana realized that for the first time in a long while, she truly felt at peace. The sleepless nights, the mounting pressure of her career, the anxiety that had shadowed her existence, it all faded into the background as she surrendered to the comfort of Iris's presence. The next morning, the soft rays of sunlight streamed through the window, gently nudging Eliana awake. She blinked against the brightness, taking a moment to orient herself. A wave of warmth enveloped her as she turned her head to find Iris still nestled beside her, peaceful and beautiful. Eliana's heart fluttered as she replayed the fantastic whirlwind of emotions from the night before. Leaning closer, she brushed a soft kiss across Iris's forehead, savoring the quiet moment before it exploded into a new day. As Iris stirred, a sleepy smile broke across her face, and she murmured, "Good morning, scientist." "Good morning, my cuddle therapist," Eliana replied, joy breaking forth in her voice. They spent the day navigating their new reality, delighting in simple moments, the sunlight streaming in as they basked in coffee on the balcony, discussing their favorite projects, and even planning their next experiment on sleep hygiene. Soon, they ventured out into the world together, exploring parks, museums, and local eateries, their laughter enriching the experiences. Each rendezvous felt like another step in a beautiful journey they were crafting together. Days turned to weeks, and as they continued their exploration of both research and romance, they found themselves thriving. More importantly, Eliana slept better than she had in years. One crisp evening, while they were curled up on the couch watching the stars twinkle through the window, Eliana knew they were building something meaningful. "Iris," she began carefully, hesitating before she spoke the weight of her heart. "What if we start this journey together for real, unconventionally, of course?" Iris turned to Eliana, her eyes filled with affection. "Are you asking if I want to officially be your girlfriend?" Eliana felt her cheeks warm, a nervous excitement coursing through her. "Yes. I want to share all of this with you. The cuddles, the laughter, the late-night science discussions. Everything." "Absolutely yes," Iris responded without hesitation, her smile radiant. "I can't imagine a better partner, in science and in life." As they sealed the proposition with yet another tender kiss, Eliana felt at peace, knowing they had stepped into a chapter of their lives filled with endless possibilities, an adventure forged in friendship, curiosity, and love. And for the first time in years, Eliana drifted off to sleep, not in restless anticipation of the day ahead, but in a state of blissful contentment, knowing she had found the cure for not just her insomnia, but for a lonely heart longing for connection. Together they reveled in a shared journey toward discovery, of the world and of themselves, filled with love, laughter, and endless possibilities. As they embarked on this beautiful new journey, they both knew they would embrace whatever twists and turns lay ahead, together, hand in hand.